Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around Thailand for you this Monday, November 18th. Now, today we will be talking about the Thai Prime Minister's high-profile meeting with Xi Jinping, how Miss Thailand fared at the Miss Universe contest over the weekend, and a little later, a conflict between Malaysia and the Philippines over maritime laws. But first things first, we have to get into some immigration news. Now, Thailand is enhancing Suvarnabhumi Airport with faster immigration systems. Thailand's Immigration Bureau is modernizing Suvarnabhumi Airport's immigration system to balance efficiency and security. The Thailand immigration system will streamline passenger processing, reducing wait times to under 20 minutes. I'll believe it when I see it. By eliminating manual steps and using advanced technology. Daily passenger volumes of 120,000 are expected to peak at 135,000, prompting the need for additional staff and resources. New systems put processing time per passenger to 45 seconds, while the advanced passenger processing system enhances security by flagging international threats. The TIS, set for completion in 2 years, will integrate AI and automatic channels similar to Singapore's Changi Airport. We went through Singapore's Changi Airport, and it was a very streamlined process. I will say there were two problems that we went through going through that. My stepfather got challenged by the technology over and over again and got frustrated, started yelling. But fortunately, he wasn't yelling at staff. He was just yelling at computers. So nobody's emotions were hurt. No feelings were hurt there. And also, yes, my girlfriend, she's Taiwanese. She went up to the facial recognition. They couldn't see her, and eventually some staff came up to her and said, "Open your eyes a little wider." Felt a bit racist from the automated system over there. But other than that, I will say there were very little wait times and very low lines. So maybe that's something we can look forward to here in Thailand, which is just been plagued with absolutely abysmal wait times, just like the traffic at the airport immigration. So, yeah. Fingers crossed, this can alleviate some of those processes. Cool. Yeah, Wayne Lesbrun says, under 120 minutes is great. So low bar for Wayne over there. Anyways, I'm hoping that we can get to a little bit. That 20 minutes seems very promising, but yeah, I guess, like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. All right, on to our next story. We have some international foreign policy news as the Thai Prime Minister has met with Xi Jinping at APEC, deepening its ties with China. So, Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra met with Chinese President Xi Jinping at the APEC Summit in Peru, marking the golden year of Thai-Chinese friendship. They pledged to enhance ties in trade, innovation, clean energy, space technology, and education, while supporting cultural exchanges and the Global Civilization Initiative. Thailand backed China's hosting of APEC in 2026, and she confirmed increased agricultural imports, investments, and cooperation on cross-border crime. A significant gesture included transferring the Buddha tooth relic to Thailand, symbolizing deep cultural ties. The relic will be enshrined in Bangkok on December 4th for King Rama X's 72nd birthday. Yeah. I don't know. There's going to be a weird shifting of geopolitical relations as the new American administration comes in January. And yeah, there's a lot of weird. We'll talk a little bit later about Joe Biden huddling up with the traditional American allies to talk about what the future looks like for East Asia and around the world, as there will be some major shifts in American foreign policy coming soon. So, yeah, deepening ties with China does seem to be on the top of the agenda for many Asian countries, and it seems like Thailand is no exclusion to that rule. So, we'll see that. Good morning, Mandalik. And Makmak says, yes, Thai news. That is Thai news. We are talking about Thailand in Paetongtarn's meet in Peru at the APEC Summit with Xi Jinping. Lots of world leaders there gathering together to sort of talk things out, talk amongst themselves, see what the future will hold. But, you know, typically it's just a lot of handshaking, shoulder smacking, photo opportunities, and nice little symbolic diplomatic gestures like the returning of a relic from China to Thailand. So, time will tell. Damien just says, open your eyes. All Asians have dark brown, black eyes. Wonder what laser they use to read eyes. Yeah, that was talking about my poor girlfriend experiencing a bit of racism from the robots in Singapore. We'll see. Facial recognition seems to only becoming more ubiquitous in our everyday lives. And yeah, Big Brother is watching apparently, but he can't recognize certain facial types. All right. Fat Vinny says, shout out to DK. DK, if you're watching, hopefully we'll be seeing you again in the near future here on the Thaiger stream. And Corblimey dropping the Schwarzenegger references, Total Recall. What does he say in there? Is that an open your mind? Is that where the Quato is? Trying to remember my sci-fi references. Let me know if I'm hitting the nail on the head. All right. Anyways, on to our next story. We have a small a small little case of smuggling. Now, we've talked about a lot of these stories in the recent past, and well, here's another one. A British student has been jailed for smuggling, you guessed it, cannabis from Thailand. A British student's attempt to smuggle 33 kilograms, good God, from Thailand to Amsterdam ended in arrest during a layover in Vienna. The 29-year-old claimed he was lured by a promise of 10,000 euros to cover university tuition worth up to 100,000 euros. His girlfriend, 24, was also arrested. Facing up to 15 years in prison, the court showed leniency, sentencing him to only 30 months, with only 6 months served due to time already detained. The girlfriend received a suspended 1-year sentence. The judge emphasized, quote, general prevention, highlighting the consequences of criminal acts even under financial strain. I mean, look, saying that money is your motivator is not really an excuse for doing crimes, I feel like. It's usually the motivator for all crimes, isn't it? Like, I don't see how that really makes people stand out. And saying, you were lured. Like, just because you were lured doesn't mean you didn't know it was illegal. So, yeah, silly kid, 29 years old, too. I feel like that's past tuition age at this point anyways. So, yeah, I don't know. Stupid is as stupid does, and here we have a little bit of stupid. 30 months, no slap on the wrist. It's still a traumatizing amount, especially for something that is quickly becoming legal, like smuggling it into Amsterdam. What the hell are we doing? It's legal there. This is just absolutely insane to me. So, yeah, I don't know. Dumb manifests itself in all sorts of ways, and here we have it on the way to Amsterdam. Who knew? I don't know. Good God, I'm pretty torn up about that story because it just doesn't make any sense at all. Smuggling it into England directly, that makes sense because they're still not legal there. But what? Just like wait until you get to Amsterdam. You'll be fine. All right, cool. Damien says, don't forget the like button. Yes, please hit me with them likes and them subscribes. I haven't even liked my own stream yet. I'll do it now. Yes, we're knocking on the door of 200,000 subscribers. And yeah, over the weekend, it was brought to my attention. We were featured on BBC. A friend of mine was listening to a BBC podcast, and they were doing some news stories about Thailand, and all of a sudden, he heard my voice. So thank you, Amir, for listening to that and bringing it to our attention, because we didn't know even here at the Thaiger. So we're hitting the big leagues, baby. BBC Big. Good morning, Jenny, my sunshine. Everybody, meet Jenny. I'll let her introduce herself. And Core Blimey, that's the part I was referencing to. Where's Head Splits? A little Total Recall action. All right, moving on. We got some weather news coming to Thailand. Man, I don't know if anybody saw my stories yesterday on Instagram. We got pummeled by rain. You were better off with jet skis in the streets than you were on the bikes, which I was taking. Fortunately, I managed to stay relatively dry. But cold air and storms are set to sweep across the land of smiles. A cold air mass is sweeping across Thailand, bringing thunderstorms and colder weather, with 32 provinces, including Bangkok, set to be affected. Temperatures in the northeast may drop by 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, while other regions, including Bangkok, will see a 1 to 3 degree decrease in temperature. The Thai Meteorological Department warns of health risks from the changing weather and advises caution during foggy travel and heavy rain. Farmers should prepare for potential crop damage. The northeast monsoon is causing scattered heavy rain in southern Thailand, with waves reaching over 2 meters in stormy areas. Be careful, small craft advisory. Residents should brace for cool, foggy mornings and isolated storms. Apparently the rainy season is not over yet, as has been the case here in Bangkok over the past few days, with severe flooding hitting the streets still. So, do be careful. We're not out of the worst of it yet, it seems, but high season is coming. It should clear up soon, so everybody just batten down the hatches until we get there. Try to stay dry. And yeah, colder weather, here's hoping. I don't know. We might even have to bust out a sweater. Still have my doubts, but yeah. Good luck, everybody. Mandalik asks, can you read Chinese? 我会啊，我会一点点啊，但是 not everything. I can't read all of it. That's the problem with Chinese. A friend of mine has a joke, one of my stand-up friends. Chinese read characters, it's kind of like reading QR codes. Each little word has a different meaning to it, so just scanning the QRs the whole way through. And I don't know all 3,000 of them in order to maintain fluency, but I'm at about 1,000 character literacy, which means I can understand about half of the sentences that are being said. But anyways, good question. It's difficult, that language. Guns and explosives. Good morning. Jenny says, the rain in Thailand is really crazy and Shanghai is so cold. Jenny coming in from Shanghai. So, stay bundled up there, girl. Elliot says, the rain yesterday afternoon in Bangkok was about an hour long. It absolutely was. I was fortunate to be indoors for it, but then I still had to make a move from one place to another when it was still coming down a little bit, and the side alleys were completely underwater. Still not done. Beautiful day today. Let's hope the weather holds, but we'll see. All right, on to our next story. Some good green energy news. Thailand is planning 14 floating solar farms, in order to boost renewable energy. So Thailand's Electricity Generating Authority, aka EGAT, plans 14 new floating solar farms across 7 hydroelectric dams under the 2024 Power Development Plan. These projects, totaling 2,656 megawatts, aim to boost renewable energy shares from 20% in 2023 to over 50% by 2037, while reducing fossil fuel reliance from 70% to 45%. EGAT's first floating solar farm began operations in 2021 at Sirindon Dam, and 2 more are planned for 2024. 3 new farms costing 13 billion baht will launch by 2027. The PDP aligns with Thailand's renewable energy goals, connecting projects to the national grid. Good news. I mean, solar energy, who doesn't like that? Renewable sources. It does seem like a long-term plan, since we're talking all the way up to 2037. I feel like the goalposts get moved all the time, right? There was plans to get Thailand majority solar or renewable energies by 2050 or 2030 or something like that. Does seem like the goalposts get moved down a little bit further and further every year, but progress does appear to be being made, and solar energy is one of the easiest ways here in a place that does have a lot of sunshine. Well, half of the year, I guess we could say. But there's other projects too, like Australia has massive solar projects that are now connecting to places like Singapore with massive underwater cables where, there's tons of desert there, tons of solar energy to be harvested, so to speak. I'd like to see Thailand get a little bit more on board with those infrastructure projects. We'll see. All right. Mandalik says immigration authorities should also give free raincoats along with a visa. Haha. Yeah, that would be a good idea. And Wayne says Chinese education is communism. Indeed, it is. It's what they do. I was involved in the Chinese education system for a long time, and I did all sorts of things to subvert them, which is why I'm nervous to go back, because I don't know how much they know. But in any case, it's a weird system over there. I'll just say that. All right. Wu-Tang Life asks, is Bangkok sinking? It is estimated that up to 40% of the Thai capital could be flooded by 2030. Is the Thai government taking any action? Yeah, good question. Certainly when it rains like it did yesterday, it feels like it's already underwater sometimes. So, not sure. But places in Southeast Asia have to address this as water levels rise around the world. Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, the capital city is being moved to a place in Borneo. So, yeah, other countries are addressing this in one way or another. Don't really know about any plans to help Bangkok in that way. Certainly more drainage could be used, but time will tell. Sorry, Wu-Tang. No clear answers for you yet. Okay, final news. We got some beauty pageant news. All right, Miss Thailand did very well, but did not quite come out on top at Miss Universe 2024, where Denmark took the crown. Thailand has shined as the third runner-up. Denmark won Miss Universe 2024, while Thailand's Opal Suchata Chuangsri secured the third runner-up position, earning global admiration. The 21-year-old from Phuket, fluent in Thai, English, and Chinese, overcame a health scare to raise breast cancer awareness. Opal's journey began with Miss Ratanakosin and led to the Miss Universe Thailand 2022, where she was promoted to second runner-up. At Miss Universe 2024, she won 4 awards, including Voice for Change and Media Favorite, and advanced to the top 20 through fan votes. Opal's resilience and advocacy for change make her a national inspiration. And what a beauty she is. Congratulations, Opal, on your runner-up victory. Now, of course, Thailand always does very well at these competitions. We have very beautiful women here in the land of smiles, but this year it does appear to have gone to Denmark. Congratulations there, too. Yeah, let me know in the comments. You a fan? You agree with the the results? I have a feeling we're going to get some mixed comments in our section, but do let us know. What are your thoughts on that? Aussie Stu says, oh, she pretty. All right, Damien, I'm going to leave your comment in the comment section, not say that one out loud and get myself in trouble. But yes, indeed, she was beautiful. I'll agree with you on that note. Okay, on to our ASEAN section. Now, of course, all right, so we do our Thaiger stuff, guys. That's all focused on Thailand. On ASEAN now, we're going to be expanding our scope a little bit. There's not always a whole lot of hard-hitting news coming out of just Southeast Asia, so I'm going to include it I'm going to go broader. We'll also be doing South Asia and East Asia. So all of the aspects of Asia will be covered in this section of the news when there's more interesting things coming up from the broader region. So we'll go there. All right. Moving on. Well, hold on. First things first. Singamikar says, they held a beauty pageant for all those Fox News female hosts and named the winner Miss Information. Zingers. Yeah, my favorite drag queen name I ever heard was Miss Concepcion. Fantastic. That was a friend that I grew up with, actually. And yes, if you thought she was a woman, you've had a misconception. Jokes on a Monday morning. Okay, everybody. Moving on to our next section, the ASEAN Now section. We're first starting with Joe Biden's visit with Japan and South Korea to strengthen their ties at the APEC Summit. So President Joe Biden met with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba and South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol at the APEC Summit in Lima to strengthen trilateral ties. Boy, I'm having a rough day. Ahead of Donald Trump's presidency. Concerns include a confrontational U.S.-China relationship, North Korea's nuclear program, and its troop support for Russia in Ukraine. The three nations condemned North Korea and Russia's actions and launched a trilateral secretariat to formalize their alliance. Biden emphasized cooperation as vital for Indo-Pacific stability, while Trump's commitment to these alliances remains uncertain, given his quote-unquote America First stance. Yeah, we'll see. This was a big thing. You saw rallies in Japan and South Korea in support of Donald Trump because they expected him to be especially strong on policy against China. And obviously there's always concerns with Russia and North Korea as well for those neighboring nations. But yes, Trump also, ever the wild card, unclear as to what his policy positions will exactly be when he takes office. So strengthening these ties, what does it mean? Sure, it means something in the short term, but all of these are kind of sort of executive actions taken by the president as he sits in power. Now, of course, it takes time to undo these policies a little bit, but yeah, it could also be that Trump decides to support these policies because he does have a traditionally anti-China position, so to speak, particularly with the trade war and the tariffs and things like that. But who knows, man? I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out what exactly the administration looks like when it finally gets into power in January. Your thoughts, please let me know in the comments. Yeah, Mandalik says, good that Biden can still travel. Yeah, guess so. They're wheeling him around somewhere. How old is he now? 80-something. And now Trump, our second oldest president, coming in. Would be nice to get someone. When are we going to get our millennial representation? It's going to be a while, I think. Mojo asking, did she win with blue steel? No, she was smiling. She actually got it. Oh, I tried to hit my blue steel in a picture over the weekend, but I'll work on it. All right. And Damien says she must be from Illawarra. We have the big blue steel workers. There we go. Zoolander references. Happy Monday. All right. On to our next story, which that was East Asia. Now we're in South Asia. Bangladesh is seeking the extradition of Sheikh Hasina from India. So, Bangladesh's interim leader, Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, announced plans to extradite former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who has been in exile in India since fleeing a student-led uprising in August. Yunus pledged to investigate human rights violations during Hasina's 15-year rule, including deaths and alleged disappearances, with Interpol issuing a red notice for her arrest. The interim government is also engaging with the International Criminal Court to address these cases. Yunus prioritized electoral reforms before announcing a roadmap for new elections. He dismissed reports of rising Islamist attacks on minorities as, quote-unquote, exaggerated. Yeah, all right, so we got some tough stuff happening in Bangladesh, as everybody is aware that there were some major student uprisings. Police, authorities were cracking down, lives were lost, and now it does seem that some order is being regained under this Nobel laureate winner. But now comes the truth and reconciliation. So the former leader, who held on to power for 15 years, is now wanted for her actions as the prime minister of that time. Time will tell how much is India willing to harbor her as a fugitive who is now wanted by the ICC and Bangladesh for extradition. But how this will play out is still yet to be remained. I'm going to keep my eyes on this because this is a very high-profile case coming out of the southern region of Asia, and will have major ramifications for how the future of democracy unfolds for Bangladesh. Okay, so rock trip on this. Hey, good morning. Thank you for joining us. You're not late. You're just on time, as always. If you owe someone $600 million, of course, you're not going to like them, says Mojo, in reference to America's relationship with China. Sure thing. Hey, what is the famous old quote? If you owe the bank $1 million, you have a problem. If you owe the bank $1 billion, the bank has a problem, right? So it might be a little bit of a case of that as well, too. Mandalik says, heard Yunus ran away from Bangladesh after the U.S. election results. Is he? He's still there running the show, apparently. But maybe he's doing a diplomatic goodwill tour. I'll keep my eye on it. I'll let you know, Mandalik. Okay, now, back to the South Pacific. Malaysia and Philippines are having a bit of a conflict. Now, Malaysia is protesting the Philippines' new maritime laws over the Sabah claims. So Malaysia plans to issue a formal protest to the Philippines over its new maritime laws, citing overlapping claims in the South China Sea and concerns about Sabah's sovereignty. Deputy Foreign Minister Mohammed Alamin stated that Philippines Maritime Zones Act and Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act encroach on Malaysia's territorial claims in Sabah, a state on Borneo Island. The move follows a similar complaint from China. While the Philippines maintains a historical claim to eastern Sabah, its Supreme Court affirmed in 2011 that the claim has not been relinquished. The Philippines Foreign Ministry has yet to respond. Well, we're used to these conflicts between China and its neighbors in the South China Sea. Usually the neighbors themselves don't have this kind of beef or drama. So, yeah, Borneo already shared territory between a few different nations as well. Seems like Philippines is trying to get in on the claims. So what does this mean? This is one of those things where I feel like really, it should be up to the cultural identification of the people who live there. A little popular sovereignty is definitely helpful when it comes to deciding who actually has sovereignty over the claims. Falkland Islands comes to mind, England, Argentina. In any case, we'll see if this actually amounts to anything. It does seem like just a spat that won't actually escalate into anything more than some saber rattling and some harsh words being said. But yeah, anyways, interesting to see it expands beyond conflicts with China, but also amongst themselves. Not great news. Yeah, and Damien says, welcome to the South Pacific. Who knew? Territorial claims in the islands? Yeah. It's just par for the course, I think. And Mojo says, welcome to the party in Pretoria. We're going to South Africa. Is that it? And Damien says, Philippines has or is building a dock to get enough for a U.S. carrier can dock. Yeah, well, that's one of the things is Philippines does many times act as a proxy for American interests as well. So that is something to consider when it comes to these kinds of territorial claims. All right, well, enough politics. I have a fun story for us to end on today where we are heading to, Pretoria. It was a Family Guy reference. Gotcha. Anyway, sorry. We're moving on to our last story of today, which is heading over to Cambodia. Now, Cambodia just had a water festival that drew over 6.2 million visitors. It's a hefty number. Cambodia's water festival attracted over 6 million visitors, including 52,000 foreign tourists during its three-day celebration in Phnom Penh. The festival, featuring boat races along the Tonle Sap River with 348 boats and 22,000 oarsmen, honors ancient Khmer marine forces and marks the end of the rainy season. We'll see about that. Prime Minister Hun Manet praised the smooth execution and cultural preservation of the event, crediting security forces for maintaining safety. The festival remains a vibrant showcase of Cambodia's tradition and draws both local and international crowds. Cool. Yeah, looks beautiful. Love it. I haven't actually been to Cambodia, so this is a very big blind spot for me. And it's interesting to see that, 6.2 million visitors, that's a lot of domestic travel. So it takes events like this in order to sort of boost the tourism. 52,000 international, would love to see that number get pumped up. Maybe next year I'll be among them. But anyways, congratulations Cambodia on a successful event. Managing that many people is no easy feat. All right, Singing My Car says, this looks fun. And Bird is a word, says Mojo. All right, guys, let me wrap up the show. That's it for the Thaiger. You can always go to thethaiger.com for more news updates throughout the day. Don't forget to go to ASEANnow.com to sign up for the conversation and keep it going all day, every day. There are thousands of expats engaged in conversation, and you could be one of them. All right, that'll do it for now. Let me get into the comments to wrap things up, everybody, and let me hear your thoughts here at the end.